Hello, welcome to March 27th, 2025. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily good life meditation. This is an exercise that I do every day, a little bit after waking up, to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone, which you can read for free at goingalone.org. All right, so first, welcome new subscribers. Also, a little disclaimer, this is a video about me. This is my journal video, not necessarily about Japan, although I am in Japan right now. I also do talk about subjects sometimes that are sensitive, like death, so be forewarned. And I do want to say thank you to you who watch my videos, and particularly my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters for your support. You bought me this coffee this morning. All right, let's begin. I usually do three things in this video. One, I'll talk about the last 24 hours, see how I did with any challenges or opportunities that I met. Then I'll go over the 8 objectives of my creed, and then I'll talk about the plans for the day. Last night and yesterday, I pretty much need to drop the last night part. I've been doing this since 2000, this daily journal via video since 2018. And all during my work years, I really needed to talk about last night and yesterday, because last night was usually awful. I'm retired. By way of introduction, I'm Kurt Bell. I'm a 60-year-old retired American living in Japan. My wife is Yumiko. She's a Japanese woman. We have a daughter, 24-year-old Emily, who we raised almost exactly half and half between America and Japan. She lives here in Japan now, in Tokyo, and will be starting her career level job next week. My wife and I are 3 months into retirement. We just bought a home here in the same valley where we raised our daughter, and that's our new life. Anyway, during my working years, when I did this exercise, I would often reflect, because I do the three things. I reflect on yesterday and last night. Excuse me. I always included last night because my nights were so awful. I'm still bitter. I'm very bitter. And I was wondering yesterday how long I would keep this up. I'm bitter about my working life. The years 4 decades that I spent in the hamster wheel, which really, sapped all of the vitality in life out of all the best vitality in life right out of me, as it should, right? I was a working man, right? I mean, that's what my working years were for. I'm still resentful of that fact. Nevertheless, there it is, and I wouldn't, if I had to do it over again, I'd do it exactly the same way. So what does that say? Anyway, as a result, when I did this exercise before 3 months ago, I would always talk about last night, because usually I would have bad nights and awful nights. Now that I'm retired and the stress of work is lifted from my shoulders, I sleep well every night now. Deep. Remember, this is a journal. This is not me bragging. This is my recording of the experience of my life and the changes that have come since retiring. I go to bed every night around 9 p.m. and I'm out like a light. And the next thing I know, it's 4 a.m. when I get up. The only interruption would be if I have to get up and, biology calls in the middle of the night. So I don't have to worry about nights anymore. My nights are peaceful. It was work all along, damn it. Damn work. God, this hatred runs so deep. And it's building. It's so funny. You'd think that, excuse me, I juggled the table. You'd think that as time goes by, I would, get over my hatred of work. It's the exact opposite. I didn't realize how much I hated work. And even after it wasn't until like 2 weeks ago, I formally retired on December 12th. December 12th. Although my last day of work was December, I think it was 7th, a day of infamy, right? So December So basically all of December, January, February, March. So it'd be basically 4 months in theory, but the whole month of December was taken up with the transition of moving to Japan. So I really didn't count that. I was so damn busy. I really mark the retirement as the day that I started this video series, which was 102 days ago, when both me, Miko, and I were formally retired, because she kept her part-time, she kept her job. She was an administrator for a company in America, and after she retired in April 2024, they asked her to stay on for a while, part-time, and she until August, and then they asked her to stay till December, and she agreed to both. And then they asked her to stay on after that. She said, no, I'm done. So in January she was done. And so basically when I started this series was the day that she was formally done, I was formally done, we were both formally retired. Get it? So sorry, I'm kind of navigating around my emotions, because I'm so angry about work, and it bubbles up. And I start these videos and I say, today's the day, Kurt. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to go there. And then I invariably do. And it's getting worse. It's like, you know what it would be like? I imagine it would be, you know what it's exactly like? It's not. Okay, remember I said I talk about stuff that people don't like sometimes in these videos. Here I'm about to do it right now. Okay, I used to be a Christian, and when I left the church, I had this realization that, oh man, geez, this was all a facade to basically give me an easy out, so I didn't have to face the hard stuff of life on my own by giving me all the answers. And then I felt some resentment for a while, not at God or anything like that, because I don't believe in God, but I felt some resentment that I had spent some time of my life under the umbrella of a belief system that served an end that I didn't want, which is namely to relieve me of the hard work of trying to figure out life on my own. Now I feel the same way about work. And I didn't feel that way when I was a Christian, and just like I don't feel this anger when, and just to be clear, because people are going to conflate those two, right? I was never angry at Christianity, and I didn't have any bad experiences as a Christian that caused me to leave the church. All that happened that caused me to leave was I simply realized that I didn't have any good reason to believe that God exists, and that all the reasons that I asked about and that I talked to other Christians about didn't fulfill their burden of proof, and I was left with at the time, kind of sad. I was sad to leave it. I was sad. I kind of enjoyed being a Christian. It was good community. It was good to have that support. But I wound up realizing, I have no good reason to believe in this. All the reasons that people keep telling me don't carry water. I'm left with no other choice but to stop believing and stop being a Christian. That was a long, long time ago, and I've continued the effort ever since, including I read the Bible every day. I've continued reading all my life, not to try to find my way back, but simply because it's an interesting book to read over, or a series of books, 66 books to read over and over again. I enjoy literature, and it helps to expand my literary knowledge, because if you read I'm a big fan of 19th century English and American literature, and if you read that, it's rife with references to the Bible, and if you know the Bible inside and out, you can enjoy that literature better. Anyway, I'm way off topic. Come back to what I said. Okay, I didn't feel, when I was a Christian, I felt good. I felt all right as a Christian. I felt good, I was a part of a community. And then when I left, I was like, damn, what was I doing all that time? Wow, I really was wasting my time. I feel exactly the same way about work right now. During my work years, I didn't feel that way, but now that I'm retired, I'm like, damn, what the hell was I doing for 40 years? Unlike Christianity, if I could go back again, well, I would. If I could go back to the point that I was a Christian, I would want to do that again, because it was being a Christian that caused me to take Christianity seriously and to realize that it wasn't true. It was being a working man, though, that didn't cause that. It was the only thing I could do. There wasn't any option. I'm born in 1964. The only option I had in life was to, if I would choose to be a family man with a father and a wife, was to do the working man thing. And I did my duty, sir. And I'm very resentful of it now, although I have nothing better. Maybe I'll get over this. Anyway, well, I conflated, I stirred up a lot there, didn't I? I'm sure this will lead to some interesting comments. All right, so I had a good night's sleep. Yesterday was a fine day. I do have 2 things under my last 24 hours. I keep a notebook every day. One was balance under schedule change. So what happened, Emily was supposed to be here for ostensibly 3 days. Really, she arrived 2 nights ago to visit. She stayed the night. She was supposed to be here all day. She was all day yesterday, last night, and then another day today, and go home to Tokyo today. Her boyfriend is sick with an infection, so she decided to go home back to Tokyo to go tend to him, which is admirable. You know, I'm glad. She's a good person. She's gonna go take care of him. The doctor said he saw the doctor and it's past the infectious stage, so now he just needs a little TLC, and she's gonna go back and administer that. So we didn't get to see her the whole day, and I'm fine with that. I'm disappointed that I didn't get to see her all day, but I'm fine. She made the right choice. I'm glad that she made that choice, right? Someone in need comes before that all, but what I'm trying to say is this reason this note is, I'm not noting things. These are not notes about the day. This is not a journal of Dear Diary, today I went to the bakery and got a croissant. This is Dear Diary, today I was faced with this challenge and here's how I responded to it. So I didn't get to see much of Emily yesterday because we take care of my wife's father. He's 90 years old. We take him to the clinic and we tend to his lunch every day. My wife's sister takes care of his dinner. Yoko is still working. So during the day, Dad had a clinic visit in the morning and needed lunch. And Emily, who was here, one of the main reasons she came was to go shopping with my wife to get office appropriate clothing for her new job. So we realized we couldn't juggle all of this, Dad's clinic, the lunch, and the shopping. So we divided. Emily and Yumiko headed off to do shopping in the morning. I stayed behind. I took Dad to the clinic. I took care of his lunch, etc., etc. And then we met up in the afternoon. And so as a result, I only got to spend, and then Emily left to go take care of her boyfriend, Tatsuya. Great guy. I sure like that guy. Tatsuya, if you see this, those cookies were the best cookies I've ever had that you sent down. Thank you. And I hope you're feeling better. But as a result, I only saw Emily for a few hours, and I had to balance the fact, that I couldn't see her for very much, and I did. I was very nimble. I was like, okay, Kurt, you've got to change your plans, and she's doing a good thing, and so just adjust to that, and I did. So this is balance under schedule change. So I handle that in a mature and grown-up way, using hashtag reason, hashtag temperance. These are principles from my creed, and then hashtag balance is the objective I was endeavoring towards. Okay, the other one was an interesting one. This note says temperate thoughts, and then in parentheses it says breakup. So if you follow these videos, you'll know that I had to send a Dear John letter. Maybe it's a dear Takeshi letter. I won't. If I start down this path, I'll spend 20 minutes talking about this. Which I won't do. As a retired guy, I'm finding that people want to fill my time with their time. There's people have ideas about what their projects, and they think that because I'm free, that I'm free to participate in their projects. I'm not. I spent 40 years participating in other people's projects, namely my work. Now, if it's a worthwhile project, if it's something that my inner family, circle family need me to do or want me to do and it's worthwhile, I'll do that. Like, if my wife wants me to help her with a DIY project around the house, you got it. If dad needs some sort of help with something, you got it. Likewise, etc., etc. But when I meet strangers in the street, like happened 2 weeks ago, and they learn that I'm retired and my time is my own, and they know that I speak English, and obviously, speaking English, um, and then they kind of bring me into their world, and then it's almost like a spider grabbing you and dragging you in. So I had to this happened. So I had to develop. I won't retell the tale, but I had to buckle up the courage, and then the language to say no. I'm not going to do that. I thank you for extending your interest in having me participate, but I've got my own projects. Anyway, I've been, every now and then since I did this, I sent that Dear Takeshi letter earlier in the week, and I got a very amicable response from the gentleman. In fact, it was his response that caused the guilt to rise a little bit, and it rose yesterday. He took it so well. I was really impressed. And it's the kind of thing that maybe it's two parts. Maybe it's two-part. One, guilt that I'm not helping him out, and he doesn't need help. I mean, this is not like an event where someone's like, can't reach the upper shelf of the thing. You got to help him. This is a very wealthy man who wants to simply further the last remnants of his career into his old age by extending his business overseas, and he needs someone who speaks English to help him do that. So I'm not going to get involved in that. But he was so amicable. He was so understanding and friendly in his response to my Dear Takeshi letter that I felt guilty about it. And he also guilty that maybe I'm missing out on a friendship with a really good guy. And no, I don't. If people want, well, why don't you just try to extend to be friends? I don't do friends really anymore. I'm kind of done with that part of my life. As weird as that sounds. Also, the other thing that I'm realizing in retirement is that not only do I not want to spend time on people's projects, I don't really want to spend time on, I don't viscerally need human beings. Let's try to find a way to say this. I don't get lonely, ever. And my world there's a reason that I wrote a book called Going Alone. It's because when I'm alone, the world is this rich and fascinating playground of thought. My motto is I like to walk and think. Because when I walk alone and I'm free with my thoughts, there's just this, it's like watching spring unfold, because I'm a very optimistic, upbeat person. It's so entertaining. And when I'm with people, I have to attend to the messiness of human interaction. Hashing out the pleasantries of idle chit chat and catching up. And the worst thing of all, and this is going to really rub people the wrong way, because I know this is something that's really important to people. I hate going over the stories of the past. When people tell me tired old stories of the past, I'm like, what? It's like watching friggin' reruns on TV. I know that some people really enjoy that. I don't. I don't want to hear a tale that someone's told me a second or third time. There's too many new thoughts waiting to be thunk. Get what I mean? So if you're thinking, well, this guy's really nice, why don't you just be a friend of his? No, I don't want to be his friend. I don't want to be a part of his project. I don't want to be his friend either. I've got 5 good years left in me. I'm 60 years old. Statistically, 66 is the last year. By 66, the diseases of old age, the coming storms of old age will arrive, and they're going to eventually take me out. And I don't want to waste a single moment of any of this time doing anything other than the stuff that I've waited my whole life to do, which is namely to be at peace with my own thoughts, enjoying the world around me, carrying out the projects and the execution of the mission outlined in my book, Going Alone. And I don't want to be involved in other people's projects unless it's something my wife or my daughter or my family want me to do. And I don't want to be sitting around with people talking about the past. Unless it's, again, sitting around the table talking with my daughter and my wife. For some reason, my immediate family are immune from these things. I don't feel this way. Like if I'm sitting with a friend and they're telling me a story I've heard before, I'm like looking at my watch. Time for me to get the hell out of here. If I'm doing that, if I'm sitting with my daughter and we're reminiscing about the past, I don't feel that way. It's interesting. For me, it's interesting. What's my diary, right? Okay, so what I'm saying here is this line here is tempered thoughts about the breakup. So yesterday, after his very friendly response to my Dear Takeshi letter, I started feeling these little guilt, like, wow, I shouldn't have broke up with that guy. The reason I'm noticing this is that I didn't linger on them. As soon as those thoughts rose up, I hashtag for temperance, I tempered them down, hashtag reason, I thought it through, I thought, Kurt, you made the right decision. You don't want to be involved in this. If I go out, let's just say he wanted me, he's got these, I can't give details. He wanted me to come on like a little holiday thing with him. If I did that, it would be all about, I'm not even going to say it. Nope, because it's too personal. I'm giving away information about it. It would not be stuff that I would be interested in. So no, I did the right thing. And it's not that life is all about whatever interests me. It's just that it kind of is. Now that I'm free, I'm very possessive of my time. I've given all of my life to my responsibilities, and my daughter's grown. I'll still take care of her. If she needs some money, she needs anything like that, let me know. I'm there for her. If she needs my time, I'm there for her. I'm not giving up. I'm not saying I'm not a dad anymore. My wife, she's got my sun and moon and stars. My wife, I'll do anything for my wife. My extended family, likewise. All the rest, not getting my time. I got too many things that I put on the back burner for the last 40 years waiting to attend to waste any more time on projects that I'm not interested in, or discussions with people that I find uninteresting. Wow, is this the irascibility and stubbornness of the curmudgeon, perhaps? Okay, anyway, that's the two things that came up from yesterday. The creed consists of 8 objectives, as follows. I'll go through them fast, because if you're curious about what the details are, go have a look at my book, Going Alone. You can read it for free at goingalone.org. In the chapter titled The Good Life, I outline all 8 objectives and 35 principles. The 8 objectives, and this is me calibrating myself for the day. Number 1, to be always ready to die. To have my affairs in order, my relationships sound, my life's work complete. Do I? Yes, I do. 2, the taxes are paid. Oh, heads up on that. So I went ahead and paid my accountant. My last friggin' damn year of professional work, taxes are done. Friggin' nailing that damn coffin. She sent me my accountant sent me the email saying your taxes have been filed. She does it all electronically, filed and accepted. That means they're all in order, which they're always accepted because she does such a great job. She's really on top of things. And I went over to Emiko and I said, it's done. Our taxes are done for 2024. This is the reason this is so significant. That's the last year that we file taxes as employed people. From now on, we'll be filing taxes as retired people on a fixed income. No, our taxes will be complicated by the fact that we have to file in both Japan and America, but we can handle that. There was just something significant about it. There was something, it was like this whole transition to Japan. I knew that we'd have a couple of big things that would happen. We'd have to finance the move. We'd have to buy a house. We'd have to buy a car. We'd have to buy a house. We'd have to refurbish the house. And we'd have to pay our taxes for 2024. And I had a budget for all this stuff. And that the taxes are paid was the last of those things, but it was also the nail in the coffin of my career. Damn career. And if any of my bosses see this from my last job, because I know that because I post this stuff on LinkedIn, and I know that some of you are out there, please don't take what I say regarding my work or my anger is directed in any way at you or my job. This is a blanket statement of resentment that I hold for the way I chose to live my life. In fact, the last job that I had, that I finished my career in, was probably the best one I've ever had. I mean, very fulfilling, rewarding activities, good projects, great leadership. I mean it. So if you guys see this, know that it's me, not you. No, it wasn't either of us. It was the job itself. It was work. It was the fact of work. The fact of just going in. Like right now, it's 6:13 a.m. and having to. And this is I think it's a Thursday. And then I would have to be going into work. I'd be walking to work right now, because I'd at 7:00 I'd have to be at work. If I'm still working in Japan, doing my crossing guard duty, which was worthwhile, but I hated. Anyway, enough of that. So that was all on being ready to die, to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to recognize true limits and true opportunities, to do just one thing at a time, and do that thing slowly, deliberately, and carefully, and to keep my balance. Those are my 8. As for today, I have only one thing on my list. I'm calling this Nursery Day. So since our daughter isn't here, Yumiko and I are left kind of with a day without plan. Oh, a big thing happened yesterday. We pulled the trigger on the remodel of our Japanese bath and the Senmenjo. We got the final quote. It took us like 2 months of work to go looking at showrooms and getting quotes. We're getting our Japanese bath in our Akiya that we bought completely remodeled. We're tearing out the whole thing, and we're getting what's called a unit bath. It's this beautiful Japanese setup they put in, and you get this like almost like onsen type of bath with all the bells and whistles and insulation, and it's going to be great. And we're also getting remodeled the Senmenjo with a new Senmen dye. Well, Senmenjo is the changing room / laundry room. We're also getting a new toilet, and we're getting partial remodeling of the toilet room. We're holding off on a few things so we have some projects for DIY work. And yesterday we got the final quote, the 2 days ago we got the final quote from the contractor. We pulled the trigger. We gave him the confirmation yesterday. They're going to order the thing, and I think they're going to start deconstruction or demolition in like the 3rd week of April. So that's happening. So anyway, we're left now that our daughter is back in Tokyo. We got her all her clothes, sent her off, bought her a Shinkansen ticket. She's very, very budget conscious. She was gonna take the slower train back. We sent her off with a Shinkansen ticket, bullet train ticket. And now we're left with she's not gonna be here. We're kind of left with a day off of whatever we want, which is kind of what retirement I thought would be all along. Waking up each morning, now what? Shall it be the garden? Shall I work on some DIY projects today? Shall I take a hike in the mountains today? Shall I work on a book? Oh, I came up with a new book idea yesterday too. I won't talk about that right now. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. But I am gonna do this book. And today what I'm gonna do is there's this nursery that I found, and I'm taking credit for it. Everybody in the family kind of knew about it, but nobody ever went there. And I picked it up one day. We were out after lunch. We took Dad out for ramen, and after we had ramen, I said, because Dad's got nothing to do, and sometimes it's nice to try to find stuff that he can do. And I said, hey, should we go buy I'd like to buy a plant. I didn't really need a plant, but actually I did. I wanted to get a plant for that pot that I got. I said, but it wasn't on my mind. I had a back of my head cycle thing saying, plant. I said, will I go to this nursery? And they're like, sure. They didn't know where I was taking them, and I took them. And it's this old, dilapidated nursery that's like it's better days were 2 generations ago. It's like all overgrown, and plants are everywhere, and people that work there, I think it's a family. They're all kind of weird, and it's really a strange place. It's like a nursery where they like let the rain do the watering, and there's the prices, whatever it says the price tag on there isn't right. It's whatever they think it is when you go up to the thing, and there's nobody ever there. So I've been going there by myself to get some plants, because what you do is you can just kind of like, I find a plant, and I gotta find a pot, and sometimes you have to dig the pot out of something because there's plants growing through plants. You just take it away and take it up. And I did this the other day. I got this daisy in a terracotta plant, and I went up and this guy that looked like something from, out of a movie, working behind the counter, and I said, how much is this? And he looked at it. He's like, Yakuen, 66 cents for both. And I went, sold. So anyway, but I realized you can go to this nursery and you can buy plants and find a pot, and put them together and get it for 100 yen or something like that. It's really cheap. It's kind of fun. So I took it home and cleaned it up and planted it and watered it and made an arrangement for it. It looks beautiful. So I'm going to go there today. Whether anybody wants to go with me or not, that's okay. I'll invite everybody. Everybody being my wife and her dad. Nursery day, that's what today is. And I think I've covered everything. That's it. Boy, did I covered everything, didn't I? A lot of range of emotions. Talked about my journey with Christianity, my journey out of Christianity. Talked about my anger and frustration about the way I spent my life as a working man, which, for the record, I would do it all over again, exactly the same. I would do my duty. I'm very proud of the fact that I fulfilled my duty to my family. And it's part of the reason why I can kind of enjoy this retirement in peace, knowing that those really hard years, I stuck it out through them and didn't give up. That's very, very satisfying, indeed. And remember, this is my journal, so if I'm saying stuff like I'm very satisfied in that or I'm very disappointed in that, it's my prerogative, so to speak. Let's read comments and then I'll wind up. Hi Amanda, good morning. Thunder Turtle, hey there. Thunder Turtle, there's no price you can put on a good night's rest, one of those things. Yep. Sewer Onigiri, that's an interesting name. I don't think I've seen your name here. I would remember that one. Hey Kurt, I just want to say that your video Silent Spring Hike helps me sleep every night. Really? I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. I've had people tell me tell me about that for the video called believe it or not, Just Live, with all the waterfalls. But it's got me shouting around everywhere. But thank you, I'm glad to hear that. I might have to watch that one. I don't remember that. I remember the title, but I don't remember the video. BT Chan says, hello Kurt, hey there. BT Chan adds, I find that the only times I enjoy hearing stories of the past are when, one, I think there's something to be learned from them, or find myself learning something from them. Me too. Or two, when it brings the person telling the story joy themselves. Yeah, there is that. But it feels like it comes at a cost. You're right. There is something to that. But I guess that comes down to, there's a lot to what you just said there, BT Chan, is going to have me thinking today. You're right, and there's something, dare I say, charitable in humoring people, listening to their old stories. I mean, I've already heard the damn story. I've already been there. It's like watching Three's Company reruns. You're right, it brings them joy, but do I have to sit patiently when the clock is ticking? And I got things to do? I got, that sounds bad, but it's how I feel. It's how I think. Zeljic Moravil, I've seen you here before. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name. Hello Kurt, you are saying you won't give your time to anybody but your family, but you are giving your time every day to us, talking in live videos, recording, editing, and making videos for us. Yeah, that's true. That doesn't make sense, does it? But in a way, these particular videos that I'm doing right now are for me. I mean, the fact that you guys might be there is the reason I do this with you is that I do a better job if I know if somebody's watching. This is a purely selfish video. This is a strictly selfish video. This is my journal where I'm looking in the mirror, literally, I'm seeing myself, talking about myself, about trying to be a better man. I do a better job if I do it live. If I that's it. So I guess, but it's a one-way street, right? But I'm reading your comments. So yeah, you're right. It doesn't make sense. Amanda, the bamboo roots will be quivering now because they thought they had a day off today. Right, that's right. I got a lot out yesterday. What do you mean when Emily were shopping? Shopping day, yes, I'll come along. There you go. Great philosophical review of life. Oh, thank you. I wish you a great nursery day and enjoy your life, my friend. Thank you. BT Chan says, BTK Chan says, mostly like when you speak with the elderly and see their lives light up when they speak about the past. That's a different type of a thing. I see what you're saying. You brought up a nuance that I hadn't thought about. There is something to that. And you're right. I do enjoy that. What I don't enjoy is filling time with small chat, with talk about, like when you're sitting with somebody and there's nothing new going on and the conversation turns to politics or sports, of which politics I'm peripherally interested in. I'm interested in, but I don't like to talk to people about it. I like to think about it, consume politics, but I don't want to talk to anybody about it, really, for the most part. Or sports, or just telling stories, anecdotes of the past. It's like filler. It's like filling time. That's the thing I don't want to do. I don't want to. I got other things, better things to fill the time with. But if it's an old person lighting up their eyes, like you said, yeah, there's something to that. Good. And Martina says, "Hi, Martina. Good evening. Hope you'll have a nice day today. You too." Sue Oronigiri goes on. It's just a video where you're whispering about the sounds of animals in spring. Oh yeah. I kind of do remember that. I'm gonna look it up though. Totally get what you're saying, Kurt. Thank you. Uisuki says your camera is long way up. Wonder if you turn it around, will it fill the screen more? I do that deliberately. If I do it like this, then it looks like I'm actually making a video and I'm in a public place. I don't want to make people nervous. If I do it like this, people think I'm on a video call with people. Like there's people right here, right now, and I don't want to make them nervous. If I turn the camera the other way around, they think I'm making a video and they're uncomfortable. Understandably. Okay, understood. Is whiskey? It's whiskey. Whiskey. Okay, I won't remember that in Japanese. Oh, whiskey. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. Okay, I'm gonna stop now, guys. I wish you all the best. Okay, she just left. Okay, you see how there's a coffee machine there and there's a man coming in right now? This is a very public place. If I hold the camera the other way, people that are coming in and doing their business right there are going to be very uncomfortable, let alone anybody that goes into the toilet right there is going to be very uncomfortable. So I do it this way I'm not a nuisance. And I'm only doing it here because I don't have internet at my home. I might start, as soon as I get internet installed in my home next month, I'll probably start doing this from home, which I originally did from old days. I wish you all the best, everybody. Be safe, but not too safe, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. And goodbye. Hey, Mr. Safety Forever. Good morning to you. Take care.